Hola amigos. So welcome to our office. This is the Render ATX home office. This is an attic space that is, part of our gable roof system, and we ended up changing this thing and turning it into a really incredible office. So we've been wanting to get our skylights in for literally like 2 or 3 years now, and we now actually have them in place. So these are our beautiful skylights behind me. This was all part of what I'm calling our attic retrofit series. Basically, that involves so many things that I'm not going to get into really any of them right now. But what I am going to say is that we finally got these stinking skylights in, and I wanted to do a really nice, thorough review of these skylights. So, for starters, skylights. Typically in the United States of America, when you do a skylight, everybody's doing V-Lux. Don't ask me why, but the only conclusion that I'd probably give you is that V-Lux is the most common manufacturer and the largest manufacturer, actually the largest manufacturer in the world. They produce a great skylight. I have used them numerous times, and I always, thought they were like cool skylights. But on this particular project, we were able to get to know the Fakro skylight. So Fakro has a new curb-mounted skylight called, I think it's like FXR,
FXC.
something like that. But the big difference with this one, and is a nice curb-mount skylight. And it's got a really cool glass lens on the top that's like nothing I've ever seen before. The whole vein of it is that it's supposed to be kind of like cell phone-esque. So I think I've showed you all this before, but the way the edges are on that skylight from the outside, it looks like really crispy clean and flush like that. So it's really like something that you don't really see anywhere else. So that was from the design perspective, that was one of the main things that really drew me to these skylights. And then from a performance perspective too, I studied all that and I kind of compared, and they outperformed the V-Lux skylights by just a little bit in pretty much every single category. So I'm not gonna get into the nitty gritty on that with you, but do your own research and check that out. But that was the conclusion that I came to. So I've got better performance than what I was able to find elsewhere. I've got a cooler, sleeker look than I was able to find anywhere else. And as far as the install goes, the install was super clean, super easy, super sweet. Literally all that I had to do was build my curbs based on the curb dimensions provided to me by Fakro. I think a lot of these are like 33.5 something by, let's say like 48.5, whatever. And you build that curb to that exact spec, and you just got the outside dimension. That's what you're looking for. And then when you actually set the skylights on there, it is so stinking easy. You just drop them on top, put screws in from the outsides, and hi guys, so we got 5 of the skylights installed. One of them's just installed temporarily right now, but all the other ones are in. Done deal. We're putting the final screws in this one. These skylights installed incredibly easily. We just had to create wooden curbs, 2x6s in this case, and there's an outside dimension number. And we just had to make sure the outside of our curb was that number with the wood. And then all the makeup after that figured itself out with ease. Fakro had done the math for us. So the peel and stick underlayment from polyglass just went up around the curb. And then we put our own metal flashings that went up around the curb. And with all that additional makeup, we still had approximately a 1/4 inch gap around the entirety of the inside of the frame of the skylight. And we're wanting to maintain that gap. So that's why we're being very conscientious to keep an even gap and not over fasten our screws to squeeze that tighter together. The reason for the gap is actually to prevent any capillary drive upwards that could possibly occur. And so that's an intentional gap to have gravity aid us and be our friend. And I think I've got some video that will tune into this video to make that all, so you can see that. But the bottom line is it was incredibly easy. So that was the outside, and that's how it went down. So on the inside, I wanted to kind of take this opportunity to show you how these things finish out on the inside, because I thought it was pretty cool. Once you set up the outside of the curb, which is this guy, and you do your dimensions like I just said, then on the inside, all you do from a drywall perspective is you take your drywall and you just tuck it just like this. So I act like my phone is a drywall. And you've got this really cool frame on the inside, and that's again one of the unique attributes of these Fakro skylights is this PVC frame. So one of the other cool uses of this frame is that you can put blinds on it, right? So in other situations, if you want to throw blinds on the skylight, like let's say you're using one of their competitors, then you would have to create your own frame on the inside, deal with all that rigmarole, and then have your blinds or roller shades or whatnot. In this situation, guys, I have northeast facing light, so I don't have to do any blinds or anything like that. But if I did, it's so convenient that I've got all of this here. And just kind of from a price perspective, if you look apples to apples and you factor in this PVC frame, kind of in comparison to all the other skylights out there that I was able to look at, price-wise, everything lines up really nicely to where these are actually not more costly than really any other skylight out there. So, you know, I've got the superior aesthetics, I've got the superior performance, and I have more options with this frame than I do with really any other skylight out there. So I was super impressed with these Fakro curb mount skylights. And the way, you know, they finish out is just gonna be nice and easy for your drywall. In my situation, when you look at it, you might be like, what the F is he doing here? And so just a little context on that. This is a retrofit situation, so I had all these rafters already run, and I had to work within the confines of the existing rafters when we were situating this space, because again, this just used to be attic, right? So in doing so, some of this doesn't line up perfectly with this, and I'm gonna have to kind of be an artist here and do some cool stuff. In my case, I'll probably throw some wood and create like a halo of wood that is working with it in conjunction with this, makes this look nice and finished out. Haven't done that yet, not in a big hurry to, but I am just so stoked to have the sunlight in my office space and in my bathroom space. And, you know, bottom line, guys, I think that these Fakro curb mount skylights are incredible, and I highly recommend that you check them out for your next build. I hope that helps. Adios amigos.